Every year, about the middle of latter end of April, the beginning of March, they used to go to Kilmallock for a servant carol. They used to come in there by train the Sunday morning for about 3 or 4 weeks before the 17th of March and after it. Boys and girls, and they queue up like cattle along the railway line, or the station, and all the farmers would come along, pick them out, you see, and hire them for 11 months. But anyway, this year, Paddy went, and the missus, and we pulled their leg before they go, you know, not up in an old one. Anyway, they brought back one of the brownie. She was about 40. And she'd live in how we do for 11 months, or the Christmas time. And in the morning, when he came down, she was sitting at, she had a fire lit, and she was sitting at the fire smoking a pipe. So she put the pipe up in the hob by the fire, and she went away out. And Mrs. Nolan said to me, "What do you think of it, Denny?" I said, "Not bloody much." I said, "I don't think much of that red rag up on her old boat. She had a piece of cloth around her feet, like in the boots." Anyway, she stuck it for the year. And she was a jolly old sort. She always had a smoke of the pipe every night and every morning, no more. No more. She was all right. But the next year they went. Same way, we told them, you know, the son and the daughter told them, get the youngest one that she could, the young girl. They come back with a bloody old one. And this lady, she had worked before with a farm, different farmers around the locality. And of course the cows were still in the inside, like her milk came inside. Oh, we went into the, I was milking the cow, and there was one cow, she kicked like hell. You got to fetter her, and I used to milk her. So I said to the girl, this cow kicked. I said, if you like, I'll milk her. I said, you carry on, you know, the other one. Don't you tell me what to do, she said. I've been too many years in this job, and she created. But she went under the cow and never fettered her. And the cow ate the bucket one without the beginning. He threw milk and all. She threw milk and all over the flat. And of course Paddy was up the other end of the stable, very milking. And he come down. And Paddy flew at her. Why shouldn't fetter the cow? Why shouldn't I me milk her? But the cow was used to me. She did not at all. Packed her clothes, packed everything, and walked over the road about half a mile and settled with this other farmer. She didn't mean to stop with Paddy, she meant to go to this other farmer. She had worked before with him. Anyway, he left high on the right road anyway. The next Sunday he went off to Kilmallock, himself and the missus. And they come back in the evening, the young girl about 21 or 2. Very smart girl she was. You think it's a shame to see her work in the farm. She was very jolly, lovely girl. And she stuck it for 12 months. But there used to be a crowd of lads out on the road.
Courting her.
Well, yeah, well, active. There used to be a crowd on the road every evening playing skittles. One thing or another, running and one thing or another. And one thing there, you never worked after 6 o'clock. You had your supper dead on 6 o'clock. And the rest of the day was to you. Unless they had hay down.
Or something, yeah.
Something predictable. You had the rest of the evening to yourself. They never asked you to stop. Or of course, the lads used to carry on joking. And this evening I went out. And Paddy Welsh, he was the devil may care, you know. You couldn't play with him and act, say what you would like, and he wouldn't like it. When I went out on the road, took my road past the bridge. They had a hair rope, and they tied Nellie, the servant girl, to Paddy Welsh. Tied the two of them together. And it was a joke, you know. They both took it good part. But somebody come along, a farmer come along the road. And Paddy lost his temper because he didn't want this farmer to see them tied together with the hair rope. And he started getting awkward, you see, and pushing her about and knocking her about. And they couldn't get their hands to rip the ropes because they were tied behind their back. Anyway, I jumped in anyway, and I could see it was getting too hot. And I ripped the rope quick, and I hit Paddy out of a fish, knocked him in the eye. No, we were two the best of friends, but I couldn't bear to see him knocking the girl about. Of course, we had a row. But anyway, we didn't talk, you know, we was meeting the road and we was passed by. And of course, he was next door to Paddy Nolan. And one Saturday, we were in trouble with the police. Myself and Jim Bryan and another chap, we get 3 boys and go into care and around near Mitchell's down on home the other road, singing about 12 or 1 o'clock in the night. We were waking up the farmer. They're sending complaints about him. So the sergeant, he knew my dad well. These are the civic guards. He come up to the house and he told my dad to stop me, tell me not to do it again. He said because they had complaints.
Disturbing the peace.
Upsetting the place. So we never done it again. So I thought, this Saturday, I'll go and take a pledge. Go to confession.
Yes, do
take a pledge, you see. So I went to confession, took a pledge for 11 months. And when I come out from church, Paddy Welsh was coming up the village with a horse and car. And of course we weren't talking for about 2 or 3 months. And he stopped the horse, just above the church. He says, come on, Denny. He says, sit in. He said, forget about the blooming round. Come on, sit in, have a lift. I forgot about it. Sat in the car, come up outside Ravens, the public house. He says, come on in, have a drink. Forgot all about the pledge.
Oh, Daddy.
Went into the pub. Never thought about the pledge till I come out after drinking a couple of pints.
Did you keep it after that?
No.
No.
I went back a couple of weeks after and made a confession and I never took it again. Paddy wanted to serve a boy badly. And he asked Paddy Nolan. His mother was a widow. She had a big farm of ground. She was a widow. And he asked Paddy Nolan if I could come with him for company to go to Kilmallock to hire a servant boy. And we hit off for Kilmallock, me and Paddy. Had a look along platform, and there was 20 or 30 lads and 5 or 6 girls there. And Paddy hired this great big strapping fella for 11 months. And he had a parcel that high, supposed to be clothes. Well, they take him into the hotel, or whatever it was, and buy him a dinner, a couple of drinks for the journey home. Anyway, Paddy took me in. He had his dinner, a couple of pints, maybe more, I don't know. He said he was going out the back. The parcel is still there, the counter. He wasn't coming back when we went out to see what has happened. He would disappear. He was gone. We come in and opened the parcel, there was a parcel of hay.
Hay
in a bloody parcel.
Was he a simpleton or what?
Aye?
Was he simple or what?
He'd just come for the morning ocean for a meal. And you'll see, and a couple of drinks.
Oh, he wasn't so simple.
He wasn't going, he wasn't hiring out at all. So Paddy rushed out on the platform, and there was a young lad there, about 18 or 19. Paddy hired him. A lovely lad he was. And he come with him, he took for 11 months with him. Do you think it is shame though, a young lad like that?
Yeah, had to leave home, yes.
Yeah. And they treated him well, you know. And, but that's how it was in them days.
What date was